Hey, what's up guys, welcome back. It's your boy Mondo. On today's episode we are working on LS2C6. So it's the first year of it. It's an 05. So we have a 6.0 with the ANA Corvette supercharger, headers obviously. So we have headers, it is cammed, exhaust is about the stock diameter. So we fortunately we're not going to upsell an exhaust on this or not, or upgrade it, because this car is only in to clean it up, make sure it's roadworthy and good to sell. So Blaine over at Addictive Motorsports, you guys may know him from the previous videos. He brought me a black Camaro with the I believe it was cold air inductions, carbon fiber or rotofab. It was one of those two, I really can't remember. It was a carbon fiber, cold air intake, long tube headers, E85. It's actually one of the first 6 gens that I did a video on. And so he now runs Addictive Motorsports, and he bought this car, repaired a few things, and now it's in because the car is driving pretty shitty. So I'm here to clean up, make it roadworthy, and make some more power, because we are pretty low in power. I already did 2 pulls on the tune that came in just to get an average. Everything's looking safe. We're actually fairly rich and super low timing, which in this weather should be seeing a lot more. So we'll definitely pick up some power, but my main goal with this car is to clean up drivability. This car would surge so bad with parking lot manners. So if you're in first gear just trying to get by or going over a speed bump, this car would just surge and surge and surge. So I'm finally gonna flash in my base tune, gonna go through, clean up a lot of this, and hopefully this car it has way better behavior when I'm done with it. But actually I'll get it started for you guys so you guys can hear the chop. It actually sounds pretty damn cool. Again, well, look at that. Even then, startup is a nightmare. It started up now, second try. So I still haven't flashed anything. This is still on the tune that came in with. And well, that's the other thing. We have no clue on cam specs of this car. So I'm going in blind. I'm gonna make adjustments little by little until the car is happy. So far, all the data I have has shown to be pretty good. So I'm going to make my adjustments off of that, but let's check it out. So you guys can kind of see right there what I was saying about the exhaust being really restricted. Just a reminder, this is a cammed and boosted 6.0, so that is really going to kill top end power. It's going to create a lot of restriction. With boost and cam, you want to be able to have that air go in and out as fast as possible. The long tube headers help, but the 2.5 diameter inch piping do not. We are borderline on the 500 horsepower with this tune. I'm pretty sure once I'm done we should pick up at least 20, seeing everything that's done with this. This is still a 91 octane, so the previous tuner left a lot on the table because he was running so little timing, which is not bad, especially here in the summer. But we are going to make some corrections off of the cold air temperatures, so it will be running strong as hell in the winter and a lot safer in the summer. So I'm gonna get that flashed in before I make some adjustments to timing. As always, we are gonna clean up AFR, make sure it's happy, and then we start screwing with timing. So that being said, guys, I'll see you in a bit. All right guys, so just got done with my base tune pool. So obviously I pulled fuel out, so that changes where we are at on the air charge map and all that, cylinder, air mass. So for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, these computers calculate cylinder air mass based on the amount of airflow that it's seeing. So what we do is when we lean the car out, we tell it there's less air, so the computer puts in less fuel. So obviously the less air it calculates, it lowers the cylinder air mass, and what happens with that is it puts me in a different zone of the map. And we did see a lot of increase in horsepower. A lot of it has to do because we pulled fuel out and leaned it out. We're no longer in the high 10s, we're in the lower 11s at wide open at top end. But the other reason why we gained a lot is because I did see 2 more degrees of timing, and that's just because the computer is in a different part of the map. So I'll show you guys what the spark table looks like, just so you have an idea of what I'm talking about, because this is getting a little bit more technical. So as you guys can see right here, we have cylinder air mass, that's grams per cylinder. And earlier in the first pool we did, we were in the 12s, because we were at 132 cylinder air mass grams, 1.32 grams, my mistake. And now we're around 124. So we're in, oh man, my laptop died. So by me leaning it out, pulling air out, what that caused is it triggers it to go into a different part of the map. And obviously being in a different part of the map, the timing is going to change because we don't have a blanket change over this. I did take that into consideration when leaning it out, so we're still in a really good timing zone. We're not too crazy, but just those changes, leaning it out from 10.9 to 11.4 in the extra degrees of timing gave us an additional almost 20 horsepower gains. So obviously there's still a little bit more to do. We are going to continue cleaning it up. I would like this to be closer to 11.6, 11.5, a higher boost. Down low, I'm gonna richen it up because this area we're on 3 pounds and we're at 12.6, so you guys can see where we lost a little bit of power. So I'm gonna richen up this area and lean out this area so we can have a straighter curve and mess with timing based off of air temp. But overall, we're making some great progress. All right guys, so we're reaching about the end of this tuning session. I did find that we have way higher power band than what they were revving it to. They had the limiter set to 66, so I'm assuming they wanted to shift around 64. Well, I increased the rev limiter because it is cam, and at 64 we're pushing that now. So just a reminder, we're at that at 6300 when that's when I assumed they were shifting at because of the rev limiter. So I bumped it up to 7. Obviously we're not going to spin it that fast, but this last pull I'm going to do, I'm going to bump it up to 67, see if we start dropping power. If we don't drop power, I'm still going to leave it at 67. I'm going to tell Blaine to shift at that, but it's still an insane amount of gains. Even at the same RPM, we're at 62, at 6300 we're at 480, and now we're at 514 at the same RPM, and then we keep revving it up, we're at 530. So we picked up quite some horsepower, well over 50 just with the tune. So remember guys, this is how important it is to have the appropriate tune on your car. Yes, I understand reliability is a lot to do with this. They probably want to be extremely safe, And even then, we haven't ran into any kind of detonation, no knock, no nothing. It was just overly rich. A lot of times you don't want to be too rich either, because you start fouling plugs, you risk washing down cylinders. There's a lot of stuff that can happen when you run a car overly rich. So being rich doesn't always mean safer. So there's always a happy medium. Right now we're at 11.4 throughout the most of the pool. Down low we're at 11.8, which is not bad. We're low boost. I did increase timing throughout the whole table. Now we're gonna increase timing based off of inlet air temp. So there's gonna be another pool right here where we rev it up to 67 instead of 65. And what I really have left to do is just get the blower super hot, just heat soak it so I can see how it's gonna react with hotter air, and we should be able to send it off to Blaine. The car is starting up a lot easier now. It runs a little bit smoother, so there's still a few little things I need to clean up. Unfortunately, I can't do that on the street because the car is brand new. Well, not brand new, but hasn't been registered, so there's no plates to it. So I can't do a street version on this, but I will put the dyno on vehicle simulation mode so that we can simulate the road conditions and get the low RPMs cleaned up as much as possible. So with that being said, here's the next coming up pool, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, so I'm officially done with this car. I didn't go balls out as I normally would, but that's because we're still in 91 and I'd rather keep it safe. This car is gonna get sold. It's not a race car. So I left timing fairly conservative, but even then with my conservative timing, we're still a lot higher in horsepower than it came in with, so that's always a plus. The other thing is, I'm about to show you guys why we say winter is boost season. So you guys heard me about heat soaking the engine and heat soaking the blower to make sure the tune was going to be safe for as much of, what would it be, the range and air temps. So the air temp, the hottest I was able to get it after back-to-back pulls to get that blower hot was 136, which is about twice the temperature of the air going in, because I believe air going in was around 65 to 70 for the first pull. So I'm about to go show you the numbers on how important cold air is for boost, how much power we lose through heating up the air like that. So let's check it out, guys. So remember where I told you this car came in with 8-9 pounds of boost as usual. Solid line is the first pull we did. This one right here is third gear, so I mean fourth gear, so that's actually 1-to-1. My mistake was I did all the pulls in third because we don't want to stress it out too much, and once I was happy with the tune, we did a pull in fourth, but we'll dive into that right now. So let's hide the third pull. So let's open up another one. So this one right here was the best pull I had in third gear, and we're at 536. That was at 6500. Actually, I might have another one. Well, regardless. So this was with air temp in 70s to 80s, same tune. This is with temperatures in the 135s. So we literally went from 537 to 493. So it's costing us upwards of 45 horsepower, 44. My math is a little bit off today. It's Monday, excuse me. So, well, it's Monday for me. It's gonna be Wednesday for you guys, or whatever day you guys decide to see it. But yes, that is the amount of power we lost just by heating up the air. So, just a reminder, we are in Arizona, so our average summer air is going to be in the 115s to 130s with the blower. Actually, it's probably gonna be in the 150s with this blower. The intercooler is really efficient, but it's still not as efficient as we would need it to cool down the air to ambient air temps in the summer. So that's an idea of how much power we lose from the winter to the summer. So that's why you always see all these memes, you always see all these videos of people saying it's boost season, it's boost season, it's boost season. That's a great example, guys. It's 50 horsepower just in nothing but air temp. Even the fact that we're running it hotter, it actually lost 2 pounds of boost, which is an even greater loss, which is why we're losing around 40 to 50 horsepower. So yeah, like that's how much air temp affects us. We lost 2 pounds of boost and 50 horsepower just by heating up the blower and heating up the air. So that's why I'm a huge advocate for water methanol injection, because it keeps that air nice and cold. The engine loves the nice and cold air. Car runs a lot better. But yeah, so overall, the reason I did it on this car is because, like I said, it's getting sold, and we really don't want to run into any issues regardless of air temp and stuff. So at 135, the engine was still safe. There was no knock. Air fuel actually was a little safer. Dropped to 11.2s, so that's good. I like that, especially with the hot air. We want that extra fluid in there to keep the cylinder charge temps slightly colder. So I'm happy on that side. But this car is running great. Picked up a ton of power, and hopefully Blaine can enjoy it and have his customer enjoy it as well. But that will wrap up today's video. The car actually made 574, so it was around 30 horsepower difference from third to fourth. It was my mistake. I did see internet file that said third gear was 1-to-1. Turns out that might be for the autos, but I got that taken care of. We did a pull in fourth, put down 574 as opposed to the 550s. So this will conclude today's video, guys. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.